my gosh, you guys. So I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to deploy people into the restaurants, right? And I've kind of came to the avenue that I won't be using employees. I'm going to be using independent contractors, and that's really smart for my business model. And here's why. So mystery dining is project based. A restaurant asks for an audit, I send someone in, they do the observation, they dip. I get the report and we're done, right? And I don't need someone on payroll 24/7. Honestly, the best people for this are people that already have other jobs. And I kind of wrote it down. So, servers, bartenders, restaurant managers, people who just want extra income, and which is perfect because those are the kind of people that I need. But also going with that, I hit a few roadblocks like what if they work for a competing restaurant? You know, what do we do then? So I've just kind of been going or kind of been building out the criteria for who can actually do this well. And it's pretty specific. I kind of did this all this week. So I wrote it down, handy dandy iPad. So first, they need restaurant experience, right? Minimum 2 years. You gotta have it. You actually gotta put your feet on the ground. Yeah, and that can be front or back of house. I was not specific on that. The back of house I've seen a lot. The front of house I've seen a lot. As far as guest experience, it's more front of house, but I will also accept back of house to an extent. Yeah. And I say minimum 2 years because if you've never worked in a restaurant, you don't know what to look for and you'll kind of miss it. So, for example, your glass has been empty for 8 minutes and you're stressed out. Well, is it empty for 8 minutes because he's in the back hitting his vape? Or did he just get triple sat? You know, if Johnny had two apples, you got to put two and two together. You know what I mean? So that was my first criteria. My second criteria is they need to be able to write. Okay, you have to be able to write. You have to have some type of literacy, able to understand, and able to write or type. You have to articulate what you observed clearly and professionally. This is intelligence reporting. I just want to put that out there. This is not a Yelp review. This is not a Google review. This is not an open table review. This is restaurant intelligence, and we're going to treat it as such. And then I'm specifically, this was just a little one that I added in there. I'm specifically looking for people with full service dining experience. So servers, bartender background is ideal because they understand service flow. And like I said, was he triple sat or is he hitting his jewel? You know, they know what looks good and why it matters. Now, I also have some disqualifiers. I needed to have these in here just so I know what to look for and what not to look for. So I mentioned earlier about if they work at a competing restaurant. So that was one of them. If you currently work at a restaurant in the area and I'm sending you to audit, you can't do it. Conflict of interest, right? If you're a food blogger or an influencer, that was a really big one that I kind of tussled around with. But you have a public social media presence. You can't do it. You'll be recognized. And even if you're not recognized as a mystery diner, you're recognized as somebody else and they're going to treat you differently. Can't do it. Another one I wrote down is if you have dietary restrictions that prevent you from ordering normally. So this one I'm kind of on the fence about because I feel like can be an advantage, you know? Person can't have shellfish. Your restaurant is primarily seafood. What can you make for them? How do you handle that? How do you handle that dietary restriction? But also, is that like a negative? Are we putting the restaurant through more stress than it needs to be? So I'm still kind of circling on that one, but we'll see. So yeah, that was mostly it. I think that's kind of a really good starting point. I will be building out more on this. I'll let you know if I do, but these are just some of the things that I was thinking about. And again, I'm still building out the onboarding and training process, but I think this is a really good start.